Just a quick update on Engineer really for you guys, because there's been some changes, and obviously we had the latest balance update, of course, coming in February, and really I wanted to just quickly talk about some of the stuff which I've changed in the Engineer build for myself, and a lot of people, other people as well, are thinking about and talking about and looking at as well. As you can see here, I've changed a couple of the traits, so like Inventions, Alchemy and Scrapper is the normal, or was the normal meta build for the Engineer, and we got some new amulets as well, and also Rune has changed, Durability got taken away, and all the tanky amulets and whatnot, and Celestial as well. So you see a few different things. Now I'm going to explain to you why these are kind of being picked up at the moment. Whether or not they get used like top tier or not as well, again, is something else which we'll find out in due time. People are holding things very close to their belts at the moment because of finals and Pro League and whatever as well. So this is all a lot of guesswork, but also I've spoken to high level engineers, and this seems kind of legitimate that. Oh god, I'm in America recording this and I said legit. Almost. I said legitimate in its full sense. Anyway, still going hammer. Still going for the usual traits here as well. Changing one major trait up rather than having recovery matrix, because now of course automated medical response got nerfed a bit. They added an extra cooldown on that. It's now at 120 seconds, so you're not getting as much protection. And because I've got less damage coming out, I've got power precision, I've got healing power. Remember we had Marauder's Amulet before, so you've got more precision there, and you've got ferocity as well. So we're going to need a little bit more damage, so it just feels like going to perfectly weighted as well as grabbing the stability as well for evade, and the increased damage is going to cover you a little bit there, and you get that extra stab, which is good. 3.5 seconds with cooldown of 5 seconds as well. You can still evade through dodge, you can evade through rocket charge and whatnot as well, so very, very useful skill. So you can have more stability, which is great because there's going to be more control effects. And necros are coming out a little bit more as well, so stability is going to be very nice for your survival. Obviously, power revs as well with the knockback on the stuff and stuff like that. It's loads of good things for that. So that's why maybe this is going to be changed to a lot rather than going for recovery matrix, like I said, because the heal cooldown is a lot more as well. Unfortunately, still getting not getting as much protection as you would have got before. So makes sense, right? So let's have a look at the rest of the build. The rest of it is usual. We're not going away from alchemy too much because we still need the removal of conditions, because people, even if they're not inflicting a lot of conditions anyway, it's things like vulnerability that get stacked on you infinitely from say revenants and whatnot, as well as other engineers and necros, and still a lot of conditions coming out in the game no matter what, poison and whatnot as well you need to remove so you can heal yourself more. Kind of obvious stuff. Still might stacking really effective, and obviously recharge on the elixirs as well. This recharge here on Toss Elixir B really is kind of necessary. Obviously Elixir B there as well, and obviously you see here Elixir X, that's an extra extra boost to your cooldown. You can see there 105. If I switch it back up, you can see it's gone back to 84. Same with obviously the throw, it's at 20 there. If we have a look again, 25. So just showing you the obvious things, of course. Really what this build is about is it's really sustaining the Engineer. This build is very, very powerful. You've got a lot of even more tankiness than you had before, and we're going to go with the Rune of the Scrapper as well. So here you can see damage reduced by 7% when within 600 units of an enemy. So you can get really up in their face, and you can save yourself a lot of damage incoming to you. Now this is almost, at the moment, it's strong because you gain yourself some toughness as well as some extra power for some more damage, but you can really be more bruisery as well because you can get in within a close range, and like 7% extra damage reduction is really nice as well. So this rune has been used a lot, especially for like melee classes. Everyone's going to be up close and personal, so a lot of people are picking this up. We normally see one rune being picked up by most classes, which is very similar to others, and it feels like this might be the change up here at the moment. This is early days still. It could develop into other things. Other people are running things like leadership, which is very useful. You can remove conditions on your elite, which is very nice. But at the moment, Rune Scrapper kind of makes some sense with this build and with this class. So, what else are we doing? We saw Energy Sigil got a little bit of a nerf here as well. So if we go over to here, you can see now you gain Vigor when you swap. So you don't gain as much regeneration. It's not an instant 50% when you switch weapon. You just gain Vigor and you gain, it stacks up and you're going to be able to get your dodge back, but it's not as strong as it was before. So we don't need to go to that anymore. Actually, I'm trying leeching at the moment. This is all very personal to you. You can go Hydromancy as well. And I'm still going with air because I've still got some crit chance there, so I'm going to get some nice extra damage, of course, from that lightning strike. So this still keeping with some of the similar things I had before, but still, leeching is always a good one to go for, or blood, stealing some health, so gives you a little bit of extra damage and sustain for yourself. And Mender's Amulet is very, very nice because we've got the extra healing power there of 1050, still with a lot of extra damage, as well as a nice little amount of HP as well, bringing us up to 21,500, so it's pretty strong. Why is the Mender's Amulet so good, you say? There's a couple of reasons. Obviously, it's going to increase your healing. It's going to increase also your healing that you get from super speed here with rapid regeneration. Now this base doesn't change, obviously, depending on your stats. 470 is the base. When you use super speed now, when you're in Marauders, it was about 500. When you're with Menders, you get 700, just under, it's 693 I think it is, with their super speed. And you can see, interval of 1 second, you can get a lot of healing out of this. It's very, very beneficial. So how many seconds of super speed do you get? 5 seconds. So you get, just under 5k healing. So it's not too bad. I'll show you again that in a moment. Just explaining the basics here at present. So Elixir X, why is Elixir X now useful? Well, if we go over to Sneak Gyro, you can see now that the cooldown's gone from 20 seconds to 40, which was necessary. And if you ask me, there are potentially some changes that need to be made to Engineer to make it, less tanky, but, this was one of them which was very very beneficial. This helped get reses, change your position on the map, disengages quite well. There was other things that this was very, very useful, and now still very, very useful. People are switching between this gyro and they're switching between Elixir X at the moment, and it seems like whenever we go into a more damage meta, the Elixir X comes back out because we've got the Rampage, which is very strong. Obviously duration of that Rampage is now increased, and we get Might as well as condition removal, and also we get the Toss Elixir X, which in itself is extremely very strong as well. Obviously duration that gets extended because of our HGH there as well, so 3.5 seconds in MOA, and that's AoE on 3 targets. This is so good for a couple of reasons. Well, the main reason is the transform. So if we think about things like Druid being so tanky, even when it's running something Mercenary Amulet, whatever you want to call it, Paladin's Amulet as well, which is being run in the EU currently, and a couple of NA guys I know running it as well. This can be really good because you can throw it down on the guys who are in that spectral avatar form, and it'll bring them out of that, obviously turning them into a Moa, and you can potentially take them out and take them down. Also as well, you're going to be able to get the decap a lot easier with Elixir X, which was the problem with Druids, because they could just get the decap on you using their glyphs, you can knock you off point, and that was a giant pain in the ass. So now you've got more sustain in a 1v1 versus a Druid, and you can stay on point because you've got a lot of stability coming out from your dodge, from your evading, from your Toss Elixir B, and even Elixir X, and actually you can now decap a Druid fully. You can actually even kill them. It's completely possible. I haven't come up against many high level Druids yet, but I need to do that to test this fully. But it's very, very effective, and I'm enjoying this build a lot at the moment. It's not a massive change, so you haven't got to change up a lot at all, but you've just got to get used to not having that, Elixir, the gyro to get you out of jail free card, pretty much. Elixir X is S rather than Backpack Regenerator, which you might think would be good because of having Menders and whatnot. This is still much better because you get bursted by a lot more classes now, so this is still very, very useful. Of course, you know, protection injection is still very key, and the rest of the build is very similar. You know, adaptive armor, you can't really change this up at the moment because that condition damage reduction is very, very strong, especially now Necro coming back into the meta potentially as well. That's going to be even more useful. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to hit the engineer here, and you can be able to see how much healing I do exactly. You can see up the top as well. There you go, you can see how much healing I get from rapid reconstruction there, 147. So let's use super speed here. You can see the ticks. I'm just going to evade for a sec. Not bad at all. You can see, just trying to stay alive at the moment. But there you can see, let's just have a look. I think I just missed it. 712 using bandage. Let's just see how much healing I get out of this. Whoa, that's a lot of healing. Let's just double check. Water blast combo there with obviously cleansing burst. You got about 4,600. That healing is amazing in itself, but I need to find rapid regeneration. We need to find that heal. I had poison on me a bit, so I'm going to have to just double check that, and we'll go back and do it again. Let's have another bash here, because I can't edit this, so you're going to be able to see like my complete noobness. So let's just hit the guy again. Come on. Alright, let's use super speed now. Here you go. 638. That's without regeneration as well. So when you get more regeneration, obviously your healing power goes up, and it's gone up to 1,300. You can see when my regeneration goes off, of course, I'm going to get less healing power. So you know that's where the lesser amount of healing came from. But let's try and use rapid regeneration again. You know, 6, 7, 8 there, you can see on the top left hand side. So I'm just really trying to show you the amount of healing you can, of course, can't get out of that ability. So what does this mean? It means we can sustain ourselves more, we can heal ourselves up more as we're moving around. We, you know, having super speed is almost, you know, it's ridiculous. The amount this can now heal for, according to, you know, your menders, is brilliant. You really want to get yourself some regeneration on that, to make sure you get the maximum amount, because obviously when you use a healing skill, you're going to be able to get some extra regeneration there through your healing power. So your healing power is increased while you have regeneration. As I said before, you can get some regeneration here from regenerating mist, so if you're really in trouble you can pop that and pop your super speed. Let's try and find another NPC that's not being absolutely owned. Let's find a Necro. Bet he puts poison on me. Okay, there we go. You're stacking toughness there. Let's put that up. There you go. Because he's got poison on me, obviously healing for a lot less. So you can see how important it is to try and get rid of that as soon as possible. So, you know, it buffers that healing a little bit more as well. So if you do have poison on you, you're still able to get, you know, at least almost the basic amount of healing from it. So buffs that up as well, so it negates a little bit. Not negates the poison effect completely, obviously, but it does help you to gain a little bit more HP. See there. Just as it changes up, 6, 7, 8, we're good. Lovely, beautiful. Healing power back up at 1,300, and everything is joyful and good. So, happy days. Elixir X throw as well for the mower. Obviously when Necro is in Death Shroud, you pretty much don't want to attack him, because, you know, just keep a distance, especially if you're in a 1v1, you know, you're not going to be able to do much. So you can use that mower to take him out of that Death Shroud, bring him down. That stability you won't be able to put up as long as he hasn't been able to get that up before, and you're going to be able to take him out quite well. So, you know, there's a lot of good reasons to have the Elixir X throw at the moment, which I'm pretty happy about myself. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Sorry there is not much editing, and I'm just kind of, you know, going with the flow of this at the moment more than anything else. As you can see there, getting the stability from my old Elixir throw as well. So, just a bit of discussion there really, just telling you how it feels, to what this is about, and, you know, what my feelings are about the changes. Sorry if this is a bit of a random video. It is very, very off the cusp. I just thought I'd make it. I'm in America still, so I can't edit it or do all the flashy bits coming in from the side as I usually would, but hopefully you can see exactly what's going on the top left and what I'm talking about. But otherwise, I've been Jebro. This has been a just a quick video update on the engineer, really, about where I feel like it's going to go or where it is at the moment. I hope it was useful. If you've got any other information, maybe you're thinking about something that I haven't mentioned, then obviously go right ahead. Of course, you do get the swiftness as well. With swiftness, you do get that heal as well that we were talking about, which that does get buffed up, which you did see as well above here. So you know the base of that is 105. We're getting about 157 there as well. So all good stuff. Hope you enjoyed this video. Take care. See you soon.